Good day, folks. A very good day to you. And I'm so excited because this is the first in the new playlist of energy management. And I am so excited because this playlist will be packed with information that I've gathered not just from my reading of other sources, but from my own personal experiences, as well as my experience in training innumerable clients over a period of 20 years, okay, 18 to 20 years, because some of those years were spent performing therapy as well. So there's an overlap. But in such a span of time, I have gleaned information and I have accumulated information that you will find will work for you, because they have worked not only for myself but for innumerable clients that I've had. So what is energy management? Energy management was first proposed, as far as I know, by Johnson & Johnson's Human Performance Institute. And they proposed that it was much more important to manage one's energy during the day, the week, the month, rather than managing time. Because time is something although we can control in its allocation, but the energy that we have to perform certain tasks is just as limited as the time. And we would want to allocate adequate energy or more energy to tasks of higher priority in our life than those with less priority. So for example, the amount of time you spend performing a certain task of lesser importance, you may say, okay, that's a reasonable amount of time, but you might have spent an inordinate amount of energy performing that task that is not as necessary or important as another task that you may spend less time on but require a higher quality of energy input, higher quality and quantity of energy input. So the idea is, instead of planning our time schedule, we want to plan our energy, the amount of energy we want to devote to a certain task. And mainly the Human Performance Institute focused on the amount of sleep we would get, the amount of exercise, and on nutrition. These three main things. Now I'm going to contribute to this area vastly by including not only a deeper understanding or a deeper presentation of exercise training, but my contributions here would be the addition of dealing with chronic pain, as well as energy sapping emotions. Now this you might think is just completely unimportant or not so important, and I can tell you for many years that is how I thought about this. That, hey, if you have chronic pain, deal with it. Somehow just deal with it. Go and get treatment. But what kinds of treatment can you get for chronic pain that are effective? So I will discuss the myriad of therapies out there available, but I will explain why managing our emotions will either allow us to effectively use our energy for a particular task, or have our energies sapped by these emotional baggages that we would have. And you might think, okay, that's just an emotional baggage for the day, you had a bad day. But there are emotional baggages that people can experience, and I would say the vast majority of people, that have accumulated over decades. And then that makes our performance, not only hinders our performance, but reduces the quality of our performance and the efficiency with which we perform tasks. I hope that the background noise of someone drilling in the neighborhood will not detract from this video. So they've temporarily stopped. Hopefully they've stopped already. And so the introduction to this energy management program is that we want to talk about not just the amount of sleep we get, the quality of sleep we get, but the amount and quality of exercise that we get, the types, the various types. As you know, I have a background in exercise training. I've been a personal trainer for more than 20 years, very active in 18 of those years. We want to talk about the food that we eat, the kinds of diets that are being discussed out there, and we want to talk very majorly on energy sapping emotional baggages and how to deal with that. Because I can tell you this, once you deal with emotionally or energy sapping emotions, once you learn how to manage this, the efficiency with which you perform your tasks will skyrocket, and any chronic pain that you may have will most likely disappear. And I'll explain all this to you because I used to think all this was plain bullshit, and I would walk out of any class that talked about the emotional causes of chronic pain. But I can tell you through decades of experience in training and treating clients, as you know, I'm also a fully certified active release provider, active release techniques provider, and Trigenics myoneural medicine physician. So I can tell you from decades of experience that most, if not all, chronic pain, and I'm not talking about acute pain here, okay, we'll talk more about this later, will differentiate and explain the differences. But in most cases of chronic pain, pain that has lasted for a very long time, even decades, the cause is most likely emotional in nature. And we will talk about this, and once we come to terms with it and learn how to manage our emotions and the way they contribute to our performance, negatively or positively, we can actually come out on top of it and soar in our performance. So I hope you stay tuned, and this introduction will make you excited about the possibilities coming your way, because we are jam-packed. We're going to start a series. This playlist will be jam-packed with information that you can use to set yourself free so that you can realize your full potential. Whether you are in senior management in a corporate setting or you are a high-level performance athlete, we're going to talk all about that. So stay tuned, and I'm happy to bring all this to you. Have a great day ahead.